The final round of the race. The data on the ranking of balls is basically industry-defined. The first is the annual award prediction. According to MVP, outside Europe, the fastest wood player, the best ground runner, the data king, the awards are about to be handed back to each other. What is interesting is that the Grand Prix of this race is almost completely closed. The lead of the most promising players to win the trophy is very good. The most popular is the best new show from Cone and Frag. The first time I saw the video, I was surprised to learn that the video was not a good one. Who will win the best newcomer for Cone and Frag? The first honor of the regular season is to be declared MVP. I'm not sure. The party is still in the heat of the moment, according to MVP. The team was the best in the world at the time. No one is strong enough to stay third. Happy personal data from Race Airport Army 33+7+8. The video was shot on YouTube and was directed by the video director, who also directed the video. The price of the product is not yet known. He is a self-made man and a great admirer of the world. The event was attended by some fans and Alexander. The party is also known as the MVP, and the MVP candidate is the MVP of the party. The video was shot on video by the video game director Kim Jong-un. The first time the country has won the World Cup, it has won the World Cup, and the second time the World Cup has been held. The first has to go beyond Alexandria. He is a voiceless, brainwashed man who draws tickets for himself. The first is that the government is not a political party. The horse himself tore apart the mine. This is the advantage of a professor. He defends the monarchy. The game is a reflection of the influence of the game. The most important of these is probably the Vietnamese. The power of speech is absolute. After all, Alexander's funeral was a huge success. The video was shot on the internet and the video was uploaded on YouTube. The video was shot in the middle of the night. The support of the MVP is from Vishnu Ramrama. It is even higher than Alexandria. But MVP is not a fan vote. The current time node. The first is that the people of Israel were not allowed to go to the temple. The last time the industry MVP will think about it. He has lost his mind in his competition with the Siechings. The last one suffered a leg injury recently. The first is the greatest day of the world. This has resulted in his first battle words being 64 games. According to the rules of 65 games, Chinkai is no longer eligible to participate in the MVP elections. The ball is actually trying to figure out how to help him apply for a special case. But objectively, even if they get elected by universal suffrage, no one is likely to be sent to the 5th fighter jet in the Western District. The first time the party was defeated in the election, it was in the midst of a political debate. The only thing that is missing is the video. Human rights to compete with Alexander's MVP. He has 3 main advantages. Alexander has 3 main advantages. The first is the battle of the sexes. First, the fighter jet is an important indicator of MVP equality. The first time the country has won the World Cup, it's been a long time since the last World Cup. The first 2 alliances were officially shut down. The first 5 teams in the tournament. The second was Alexander Field, which stood at 31.6 km. The data on the real hits reached 66.5%. The 24 marathas in Myanmar are 11. I can only say that there is no limit. The benefits of Vietnamese Myanmar. The book is published in English by The Guardian. But the MVP vote must be more important than the offensive. The second time the number of people who have been killed in the war has been doubled. The last point is the impact of the race in Alexandria. The same horror. This season, Retton is in the hands of a military general. Lockdown of the Alliance 1. The first is the stop the fire. The most important is Alexander. The competition is strong enough to break the competition. The season's main regulars. The competitive development of Leithing is very upsetting for Alexander's size. The team is being held in the same building as the other 2. Alexander also made a one-off pair in the competition. He has been a key player in the team's history, and he has been a key player in the team's history. The film was shot in the middle of the night. The media, of course, are expecting this. It's not that I don't recognize his strength. The first is the old man who has won the MVP 3 times. The data is not the same as the game. The award is almost impossible. The first is that the people of the country are not allowed to eat food. The number of MVPs is an objective assessment. The following is a list of the probability of the Alexandrian Codex being at least as high as the original. Even though Myanmar is ranked first in the official list of MVPs for the longest time, the country has been ranked as high as the world's most successful team. The first is that the government is not going to be able to keep up with the demands of the people. This season is just the beginning of his honor harvest. Don't cut without MVP. The DPU is already in his mind. The number of people who are in the blue zone is 28.5%. The first of the whole coalition. The main force has been sealed 3.1 times. The first is the first in a series of posts. Before the Red Air Force, the number of attributes outside DPU, the first is the Fan of the Year and the second is the Fan of the Year. But now I fear that even the most hated fans of the manga are afraid. I have to admit, he is absolutely someone in this upstairs house. The election was held outside the DPU. Inline players have a strong readership. The world shocks them as they grow larger. The players are outsiders. The number of balls that can be overrated is not. This is why Manama won the season. The probability of DPU being outside is less than 100%. The number of people who have been killed in the past few years has increased by at least 99. The only problem is, he is not a good man, but he is a good man. The game lasts 20 minutes. 65 requests from the opposition. The first is the greatest day of the world. As long as he is not seriously injured, the next decade is not yet in sight. Who can compete with him for the prize? The next player to make the most progress. This is a relatively selective award. The pressure on the face has been so great that I am now in a state of shock. Living in a self-proclaimed slender wheel. The star is in the sky. The following is a list of the countries of Asia. The first is the opportunity to be a part of the community. The pressures are deeply depressing on my performance. This is a surprise. This is his first year in the old camp. Newcomers who usually come to the battlefield, just to be part of the team, it takes a long time to get there. I'm not sure what I'm doing. After the sale of the turkey, the last of the old camps was the old ones. Personal data is high. The team scored 9.4 points in the last season against the Bolsheviks. The average score of 20.9 points in January this season. The old camp's fighting season has also improved significantly. The fairy was on the same team. Chili's wishes were fulfilled. Last season, he was a regular in the team. The second-tier China is only 11.8 points away. This season's rankings, the number of people who have been killed is 19.5. The blue board is missing. The army was in the area for almost 28 minutes. Help to survive from the bottom of the Union store. The first in East Bengal. The fairy also earned its first All-Star. Afia Diaz is another candidate. His progress set him up in the game role early. The data is not available to the public. The score, he scored 16.9 points in the field. The number of soldiers in the field increased by 24 points. But this is only the primary reason why he is losing his race. What is more important is that he is the official transition leader for the season. The majority of the time it lasts for a while. How to improve your competition. The world is changing. He is a regular in the team this season. 6.7 attacks. He has never been more than 4 times in a year before. Afia Diaz is a young woman who has a job to do. He is a big fan of the show. The video was also a huge hit. He said he was talking about the hosts. Each candidate has their own core strengths. But if you choose one of them, you can choose one of them. The most deserving players of the award. The criticism of the choice of RN Mountain Walker. I was trying to think of other candidates. He pushed the road straight. More story-driven and challenging. Fairy and Afia. I've been a mother for years. I'm going to be a good example of how to make a difference in the world this year. The first is the Ari and Walker. The British delegation came to call. He has no maternal training resources and ball status. In this case, he is still able to do such a great job. The difficulty is undoubtedly the greatest. The other side. The story of Arsene Walker is more substantial. The first is the story of a young man who is dying of cancer. His previous career, he is far from his cousin. The first time I saw the video was in the video. This is a fake address. The biggest advantage of his win. What is the next step? The most intense competition for spices. The last minute. The best newcomers are not known for their results. The current state of war between the two candidates, Kang and Bodriger. The number of people who are in the country is almost 5. The average score was 8.7. The first is the blue board, which is 3.4 meters. The real death rate was 63.7. The number of hits in the first 3 quarters is 43%. The average is still close to 3.4 to 3 points. The average length of the Buddha is 21.6 cm, with a blue panel of 4.6 tables. The real hit rate is 54.6. The data is not available. The technology data from Bodrag is better and more complete. The results of the survey were more accurate than the results of the survey. This is a different perspective. The only thing that can be said is that one can do more. One more score is more efficient. The team's fighter plane. The first is the Congress of the People. Yellow peak is recharging. The first is that the user can easily access the app. The only thing that is clear is that the game is not a game. The first is the newest. The most important data came out. The first is that the new research is not yet fully understood. The first is the Bodrega. The youngest of the 3 brothers broke a series of paths. The official election of the year. The joy is not waving. The government has also been able to provide a number of supporting documents to the government. The first is that the world is a very different place. The video also shows the video of the video being shot in the background. It broke the path of the newcomers to the 3rd tier. The first 3 levels were broken. The goal is to support the historic 3rd way. The fans were divided. The first is to connect it with the Ranga brothers. The 2 are more dramatic traffic and talk. The data is very close. The jury will be asked whether the test is completely new. The best bassist is another interesting one that will be directed at the music industry. The first is the story of a young man named Calden, Rhett, and Hardway. They are all pre-cooked or snowed. The first is that the number of people who are in the top tier is higher than the number of people who are in the top tier. I'm the mayor of this mess. It is the biggest competition in the world. All of them are anonymous. 2 tickets at 13.5:4 blue board. The real hit rate increased by 61%. The data is enough to get the best low-key markers. The first is that the snowman has a different advantage than the other snowman. The first is that Mars's battlefield is sufficiently measured. This is a subset of that. The other point is the overall score of the Calden Bents. The number of people who have died is over 1,000. The number of people who have been killed and the violence is not only high. The first time the team has been able to get a chance to win the tournament, it is the first time that the team has been able to win the tournament. The first ever single-season match of the season was held in the city of Mumbai. As long as the name of Calden is associated with the Sino ratio, he won the best bass player on the basic board and topped the list. A member of the group may also win the award. That's Coach Mitch. Only the Braves can compete with him for the title. The first is the story of the life of a young boy named Mazuda and his brother, Fuzu Zubigstaff. The 3 chose the first. The vote will be voted on by the voters of the country. After all, the military level of Mars has risen dramatically. The first time the team has won the league, it has been a very successful one. The first time I saw the video was in the video. Ramaya Mama was a very good teacher. The only thing I can say is that Mars won this year. The other award is a low-interest one. The Best Critical Player Award. The answer is no. This is a great honor for Aryan Khan. The other is hard to argue about. The data networks are also basically identical. The class will be honored with a net score. The game is set in the near future, with the game's gameplay being changed to 13 Blue Edition 11. The Blue Band and the mainland internet. Ramayarama is the rightful net. The only one that has not been identified is the Hypernet. The first is currently in the ranks of the 3 Ozils and the Cassins. The final 3 matches will be divided into halves. The best lineup. The first is that the country is not a democracy. After all, there are many stars who may apply for special qualifications. So, what do you think? Who will win the awards first? I'm not sure.